Time for more Xenonauts. Last time, Shrike 1, formerly Charlie 1, was gearing up with new stuff that we researched and built. Charlie 2 went out on a quick training mission and that all went smoothly. Then Shrike 1 went to hit an alien base looking for the crater we're supposed to capture, not finding it and losing Betty Buckshot along the way. That was tragic. So now we're going to try and continue on without one of our best operatives, and Charlie 1 just isn't going to do anything, Shrike 1 I should say, without its full complement of gear, since more stuff is still on the way. Charlie 2 was going on a mission at about the same time as that base assault, so we'll take a quick look at that. Our first contact was across a couple of fields outside the chopper where an Andron was standing around. I'm going to be engaging it at super long range. There are a few blockages in the way, but we still get a decent chance of hitting, especially with our sniper rifles, and McScope is going to show us how it's done, putting some damage onto the enemy at super long range. The Andron walked a bit closer, G-Mobile still trying to gun it down and not doing all that much. McScope takes another shot over the hay bales, still not enough to bring this guy down. These blue Androns have loads of health. While we were waiting for it to walk even closer, a Wraith appeared next to us. Friend Fire gets an absolutely terrible volley at pretty close range as well. Not able to take this guy down, but it was suppressed, so now it's safe to attack. Snail Racer starts shooting around this hedge and brings it down. Now the Andron did actually walk a little bit closer, so just need to get someone else to shoot it. I think it was also firing at Sit and Duck behind that hay bale there, but it didn't achieve anything. And there we go, McScope finishes the job. Now the squad went through that hedge where the Wraith was into this little barn, and I'm just sitting around waiting for something to happen. And indeed something does happen. Another Andron appears back over where that first one was. There's also something nearby because we see a civilian shooting at the other side of the barn, so in those couple of tiles we can't see there must be an enemy. I was confused as to why I could even see this new Andron over here. Then I realised I'd actually forgotten Deadman Walken. He was completely hidden behind some hay bales, so I accidentally didn't move him with the squad. So handy that I did, since I saw that flank attack coming in as a result. The civilian gets absolutely annihilated. The Andron near our squad has the grenade launcher type weapon by the looks of things, and that's making our life difficult because any attack we make against it will be super dangerous. I just did nothing at all trying to stay out of its line of sight, hoping to get a better chance to engage the enemy. It walked a little bit closer and now it's sitting in the corner, so maybe we can do something with that. Meanwhile, we do need to take out this guy who's slowly walking up the field, and we're going to use the exact same strategy we used on the first guy. Friend Fire does a bit of damage, McScope's going to continue his antics and get another kill. Having snipers on these farm maps is very nice because there are so many long angles like that. Now though, for the more difficult challenge, we need to take down this grenade launcher guy, and all we can really do is just pile on him and hope he dies before he gets his turn, and hope he doesn't do any reaction fire. Snail Racer shoots him at close range, taking advantage of the fact that those hoses don't block shots for some reason, as I'd seen before. Then Mr. Get comes up for some close range shotgun action. The first blast doesn't kill, there was no reaction fire though, the second blast does. So we got away with that, it went just like I needed it to, and not in the disastrous fashion in which it could have gone. Then we saw nothing else until we got to the UFO on the far left hand side of the map. Outside the door there was an Andron watching over us. Luckily we killed it with G-Mobile because our squad's not really in any sort of cover here. So now we went into the UFO, there was nothing at all on the ground floor, so just moved on to the upper floor, and we set up for the usual trying to get these cornery sort of shots without really going into the bridge strategy. A bit of a long name, maybe it's an acronym. But it does work in this case. G-Mobile has a really bad go at it for the first try, but his second try takes out the Andron on the bridge. And as it happens, there's now nothing else in here. So the mission only hasn't ended because there's something somewhere. We're not going to go looking for it. We'll sit here and take the win. Thank you very much. So another high quality training mission for Charlie 2. No damage taken, loads of level ups and stuff, and some money gains. Just what we needed. They'll go home and we'll go back to just researching things and generally improving our situation. I researched alien assault plasma, which proved to be useless, which is why I hadn't researched it before. I suspected it was going to be useless. I think the way it works is there are 4 weapons you can research at each tier, and you have to research 2 of them to unlock the tier for yourself, or something like that. However, afterwards, the other researchers are still available, they just literally don't do anything. So that's annoying, but it's good to know that in retrospect, I suppose. We're also running out of things to research, you might have noted, so the research is becoming less important right now. We finished building another Marauder, something we're going to keep doing to try and gear up all of our bases with high quality craft. We do a little analysis on the Shrike cruiser UFO type. It's essentially a big bomber, as I think I mentioned previously. It has no crew or just one crew member, so it doesn't generate missions. You just need to kill them so they don't kill too many civilians. Not that we really need to save civilians because they're barely paying for us at all at this point. Here's an example of one of them being killed. A couple of Marauders take it on. The torpedoes aren't enough to bring these things down, but a bit of gunnery does the job. We take a tiny bit of damage, but it's barely noticeable because the Marauders have loads of health, so we can just tank a few shots from enemies. We are having a few issues actually over rodeo because the enemy's air superiority fighters are stopping us from flying very far from our base. They're too much of a threat right now, so in this case I had to abandon a mission with a load of craft from rodeo to just hide. After that I did eventually go out to take something down, and then on the way back the fighters did find me. I thought I was screwed, however I'm not really screwed because we can just do this. Once the fight starts we'll just say how about we don't fight, and that's going to be good enough. I thought it might force you to crash because you don't have any way to damage the heavy fighters. Your chance is so low you'll just die like you do with the drop ships. But it doesn't work like that. You can leave, and then you get the amnesty where the enemy won't attack you after a fight. The enemy fighters just go away somewhere, and our fighters return to base. So that's a very useful trick to know. We finish interrogating a Wraith. Handily enough, there was some way to stop the Wraith from just teleporting out of our interrogation chamber, so that was good. Not sure we learned anything particularly useful, only that they're supposed to be elite soldiers and they're pretty good. But that doesn't really help us. The plus 10% damage might help us in certain clutch scenarios. So we're now a while later, blew up a whole load of UFOs without doing much, and eventually sent Charlie 2 to go on another training mission. Right out of the chopper there was a Wraith standing around, so we're going to do the firing from the starting position opening that we so often seem to be doing. We get some damage with McScope, and J-Mobile finishes the job on the Wraith. Then we set up around the chopper, and the enemy pull a suicide attack. A purple Caesarian comes up to that corner, throws a grenade in front of itself, not doing that much damage to us, but doing a lot of damage to itself. So overall I think that went well. Another one appeared and shot at Sit and Duck, not doing too much damage either. So for the guy around the corner, Deadman Walken went around to finish the job. Now that he was on low health, that was nice and easy. The guy on the other side of the hedge needs a bit more finesse. First we use Snail Racer to shoot the leaves off the hedge. That will give us extra line of sight from our guys already set up from killing the Wraith. We don't manage to get a kill with friend fire, but we do get suppression. Then I shuffle about a little bit, couldn't get a kill on this guy, and eventually he threw a grenade over the hedge, right on target, doing damage to Snail Racer and friend fire. Very nasty. At least after that I was able to fire again with J-Mobile and McScope, and together they were able to bring this guy down. So finally our landing site has been secured, we'll heal up and start moving on. There was another Wraith on the other side of the field we were just engaging in. I'm going to hang around and do some super long range attacks, since these fields are perfect for it, and the enemy's AI doesn't aggro until you've got to within a certain distance of them, so if they don't see you for all intents and purposes, you can snipe them and they won't know they're being shot, which is handy. Now I started getting the squad together to go up towards the UFO, which is at the end of the road. An alien came out of the door, took a shot, and then waited outside the door, so that was nice. Another shot came out, but it hit a shield, doing no damage. The guy outside the door will now be easy prey. J-Mobile shoots down the road. We don't actually see it for some reason, but we did kill the enemy. There he is. Now I needed to get the squad bunched up a bit more before we tried to assault this craft, a cruiser, the first time we've seen this sort of alien craft. However, something strange happened. There was an explosion out in that alley between the barns. Looks like an alien was going for another grenade attack, but it threw it at itself. This has been a good mission for friendly fire with grenades on the enemy side. So it looks like their little ambush has been foiled. Now Snail Racer has to walk around these bales to shoot. Not sure why he can't lean around around that to shoot like you can around certain things. I think it's a little bit hit and miss whether things count as cover or corners or walls or what have you in this game. Now we also saw there was a wraith that came outside of the UFO, and obviously we just shot it since it was standing in the open, no problems there. After that I started bunching up on the left side of this UFO because it actually has 3 entry points. I'm going to go for the one on the left wing, or from our perspective the right wing of the craft actually. We spot there's another alien inside the main chamber. I've already destroyed the door just so I can get more scouting info like this, but it doesn't engage us yet. We managed to make it into the wing of the UFO without much trouble. Was going to move Snail Racer to go join the attack team, but he spots a new enemy inside the main bay of the UFO, so now we'll use the guys we've set up behind this log to take it out. I had them just sitting here just in case something walked out in front of the main doors, and now we can use our opportunity. We used our gunners first to destroy the cover to make sure that our sniper would eventually have clear line of sight, and all together they did manage to kill the enemy. Our entry team captures the first couple of rooms without any issues, then we discover a wraith in the main room there, and once again I'm going to be looking for our long-ranged support. Mobile unloads on the wraith, doing a tiny bit of damage and also annoyingly suppressing Snail Racer, who was waiting by the door to storm in. At least McScope can now fire, giving us a bit more damage. Still haven't taken him down, so we'll rush in with Mr. Get to finish the job in the reliable fashion. There it is. So now we start securing the middle of the UFO and generally bringing the squad up so we're all together. But an alien appears from the other side and does a really cheeky grenade throw. It didn't even animate throwing it in the right direction, as it tends not to. But the cheeky element is that we're supposed to be inside with presumably low ceilings since we're on the interior of an aircraft. And I'm pretty sure a throw like that wouldn't have been possible without throwing the grenade up a little bit, but whatever. We got hit, we lost our cover and some health, but we can eventually bring this guy down by going for a stun attack with Sid and Dirk, who happen to be sitting quite nearby. Couple of thwacks stuns that guy, and there we have it. Now she can sit near the door ready to secure it. I moved the rest of the squad to join us in the UFO, but then there's a psychic attack, presumably done by someone who's upstairs, and Sit and Duck is now mind controlled. I tried to select her to see if I could get any more intel on this, but you can't select enemies, and she's technically now an enemy, so I end up shooting at her. Fortunately enough, nothing comes of it because Friend Fire was facing the wall and just unloaded into it. So long story short, we just need to ignore Sit and Duck and try not to kill her. She's only got a stun stick, so she can't kill us. That's the upside. I don't know if the mind-controlled enemies can throw grenades though, so it could be riskier than I thought it was. Anyway, I went upstairs to try and find who might be doing this mind-controlling, and there are 3 enemies up on the bridge. A purple guy, a red guy, a new contact, and a wraith sitting at the back. So I'm guessing it's the red guy doing the psychic attack. It's some sort of special Caesarium. In this case, a stun grenade would be perfect. However, I would have to leave same boots as last guy awkwardly standing in the room, and I didn't like the thought of that. So I ended up just falling back and moving the rest of the squad up ready to attack next turn. We can't get everyone up there, but we've got a decent team ready to storm through the door. However, the aliens actually open the door themselves and start attacking. The red guy shoots and kills McScope, who was hiding behind that weird electrical thing, or wasn't hiding as it turns out. I thought he was hiding back there, but he was in their line of sight. Then more shots come out. Mr. Get is killed after he also failed to kill the red guy with reaction fire. Snail Racer downstairs panics. Mobile, who's hanging about in the corner here, has lost sight of Sit and Duck. He was just keeping watch on her since he's unlikely to do reaction fire on her, and she's disappeared. She's actually standing right next to him, and it's just the old lack of peripheral awareness going on. She's just to his left. Anyway, so now that we've just taken a few casualties upstairs, we need to storm up to reinforce the position and try again to set up to storm into the other side of the bridge chamber. So I'm going to set up by the doors, using shields this time to try and protect against the enemy just opening the door and shooting. These guys downstairs will have to wait until next turn. The purple guy opens the other door, throws a grenade around the corner and puts damage onto Deadman Walkin and St. Boots' last guy. Then the red guy opens the door, shoots St. Boots' shield, luckily this time not doing any damage. St. Boots is nearly dead and is bleeding out. He's also panicking, which isn't helping very much. Sitting Duck downstairs is now berserking, so she's not mind controlled anymore, she's just still not under our control, she's just hanging out. Anyway, at this stage, it's a bit of a deadly situation. However, I thought that maybe that red guy was the Praetor we're supposed to be capturing, so I ended up actually going on the walkthrough to just look up what a Praetor looks like, because I didn't want to miss the opportunity. And after a lot of searching, it turns out this isn't the Praetor, it's a Caesarian leader, the rank above officer. So now that I know we don't need to capture him, I can just open the door and open fire with Deadman Walkin, and we destroy him in one hit, thanks to the damage that Mr. Get managed to do earlier. That leaves just the purple guy and the Wraith. The purple guy opens the door on the left side again and does this uninstall-inducing shot, killing Snail Racer right there. Not very nice. The only upside to this situation is I'd already moved Deadman Walkin to this door because I thought the purple guy would be here, so now in his turn he can just open the door and immediately kill the purple guy for revenge. But overall, this isn't very nice. We've lost 3 operatives trying to take this bridge, and we still haven't done it yet. The Wraith's in there as well. I got Jamobile to shoot through his door. He didn't have line of sight. I thought we might gain it by firing, but we didn't destroy enough cover. Friendfire's doing something very similar. He actually does manage to get some damage onto the enemy. This is in the next turn, by the way, as well. So we have full movement points on Deadman Walkin to charge in and attack. Since the Wraith was suppressed, low risk of reaction fire taking place. We get the kill. That's not the end of the mission. There's apparently an alien somewhere else, but we do now get the capture on the UFO, so we win the mission that way. 3 casualties in the end. And 3 good casualties as well. Snail Racer may not matter too much, but he was getting pretty good. Mr. Get and McScope in particular were at the core of Charlie 2. Charlie 2's effectiveness has now dropped quite a lot. We can put some old Charlie 3 members in there who'll have some experience, but it's possible that Charlie 2's viability at this late stage in the game is now so low that we shouldn't even use them at all. After the mission, we finished the Harridan analysis research. Again, they're basically an elite soldier. The only particularly interesting thing to note is that it doesn't know it's been captured because it has very weird insular logic. But anyway, as a result of completing that cruiser mission, I have some new researchers available because we captured one of their anti-gravity generators. We can research it, and we can research an anti-gravity dropship even better than the Shrike we just got. So really, you were supposed to do this cruiser mission as soon as it became available, which was about a month ago in the game at this point. Again, just something you need to play the game to know, and then you'll do it for your second playthrough, I suppose. Now here's an update on how Charlie 1 or Shrike 1 is getting along. We've got our new nuclear explosion proof armor. It's also powered, so it gives you maximum strength. We can carry loads of extra stuff as a result. So here Ray and Prey's got the best weapon, the best armor, and enough ammo to carry the rest of the game on her own. That should be fine. Now there were plenty more random aerial engagements that I won't show. Here's one that I messed up. I tried to engage a cruiser from the front and got killed as a result. Every now and again my complacency gets to me and we lose a plane. Luckily the game's very forgiving about losing planes and you just get it back for free, strangely, so we're actually getting away with all that. Now I'm going to send Shrike 1 on a mission against the downed scout craft with just a few Caesarians there, because now we can test out our elite gear. So I'm going to do an easy mission and just see how it goes. So right here, Hilary Highcal in the everything proof armor walks up. She doesn't have the newest weapon, but the scatter laser will do fine against these early game enemies. That's a really bad volley from Highcal. Doesn't manage to get that easy kill, that's a shame, but it doesn't really matter. We're not here to kill the enemies, we're here to try and make the enemy shoot me to see what it does. We do get a kill in the next turn against a more distant enemy, so that's nice. Now I'm just waiting to see if the enemy will shoot me. While I was waiting, I happened to move Slow Scope Joe up to this crate. I'm going to crouch him down behind it. The only reason I mention that is because it's going to be important in a moment. We've also got Ray and Prey in her power armor storming off to the left. She's annihilating someone we can barely see there with her highly powerful plasma machine gun. It does absolutely loads of damage. That's what we like to see. Now finally we tempt the enemy into attacking Hilary Highcal. It shoots and it does absolutely nothing. That's what we like to see. But then Slow Scope Joe shoots her in the back and she dies in one hit.
You have failed me for the last time.
Well, the mission went on. As for the culprit, the guy who caused that friendly fire, we can slap him down. Slow Scope Joe will have to have his punishment another time. We'll put him on the front line in a future mission. Now, Ray and Prey moves up to annihilate an enemy by blowing up a car. That was pretty cool. Then we're just advancing towards the UFO on the left side of the screen. Trigger down from Charlie 3, a new member of Shrike 1, spots a target and downs it. Then we had to do some annoying micro. Because our shield guys can't walk past these road barriers as we've seen before, we have to shoot them in order to make little passageways. So slowly but surely we do move the squad over to be in front of the UFO. The aliens open their door and try to shoot at Ray and Prey. Didn't even get the hit at close range, and if they had, it probably wouldn't have done anything. Now it's time for us to attack. Barrel Scrape will walk up to the door, open it, and we already know there's an alien standing in the door, so we'll go right for the slap against him, and he's instantly stunned. That's one down. We can spot two more inside. They both try to shoot Barrel Scrape, no damage is done. Now he just needs to get out the way a bit so we can start shooting inside. One thing I didn't mention, by the way, about this heavy armor is it also removes the penalty for moving and shooting. Normally when you move while carrying a heavy weapon, it increases the time units you need to shoot it, to effectively mean you can't move and fire. However, with this power armor, we can move and fire, so I could run in and then unload with the machine gun at close range to guarantee hits and get loads of damage. Just need to get used to thinking like that, since normally our machine gunners just sit stationary. In this case, we're doing the usual door strats to wipe out most of the stuff inside the UFO, and the final blow is dealt by Barrel Scrape, just a whack to the head. Now, because the game is feeling merciful, Hillary Highcal comes back to life, so it looks like it's avoided being uninstalled yet again. It's always coming close, but it's gotten away with it. So that just goes to show even an easy training mission can have disasters happening. We actually still have some more gear we can get. There is an upgrade to the Wolf armor, so we'll tuck Charlie 1, Shrike 1 away again and wait for them to get stronger as part of the next part.